Hi guys, today we're going to be discussing multi-step equations using this distributive property and combining like terms. Okay, this is your first example. Okay, so when you see the parentheses, this should let you know that you need to apply the distributive property. So first, I'm going to multiply 2 times 5x. That's going to give me 10x. Then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And I'm going to bring down the equals 14. Okay, so now this should look like a two-step equation. Our next step would be to add 6 to both sides. Okay, next step, divide both sides by 10. And x equals 2. Okay. Next example is one very similar to it. Again, it has the parentheses that lets us know we have to apply the distributive property first. So our first step would be 4 times 2q. That's going to give me 8q. And then 4 times negative 7 would give me a negative 28. And bring down the equals negative 4. Okay. So now our next step would be to add 28 to both sides. And this is 8. That would leave me with 8q is equal to 24. Okay, divide both sides by 8. And q is equal to 3. Okay. Our next example is just a little different. Okay, it will require you to combine like terms as well as use the distributive property. So our first step, we have to use the distributive property. So this is going to be negative 3 times 4y, which is here. Okay, so this is going to be 38 equals negative 12y. Also multiply negative 3 by a positive 2. That's going to give me negative 6. Bring down the plus y. Now, I need to combine like terms. That's negative 12y plus y. Okay? When I combine them, I'm going to get negative 11y. All right? So our next step would be to add 6 to both sides. And the last step would be to divide both sides by negative 11. Therefore, y is equal to negative 4. Okay. Next example. Very similar again. All right, have to use the distributive property. So that's negative 5 times r and negative 5 times negative 4. Okay, now again, you see like terms, which is going to be negative 5r and negative r. Okay, when I combine those, I'm going to get negative 6r. Okay, next step would be to subtract 20 from both sides. All right, now divide both sides by a negative 6. And r is equal to negative 4. And this, actually, I have one more example that I want to do with you. Okay. Here again, we have to use the distributive property and combine like terms. So I'm going to use 3, multiply it by everything in the parentheses. So that's going to be 3 times x and 3 times 12. Okay, so now combine like terms. All right, now subtract 36 from both sides. Okay, and divide both sides by 2. X is negative 14. And this concludes our multi-step equations video.